Kanye West's war against Pete Davidson is getting worse than ever.
Kim is concerned about the safety of her new boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't get it. A lot of people are very angry at me.
You will never meet my children.
I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family.
Kanye is not a well person.
But does he have a point?
Pete is trying to provoke Kanye.
Why would you put another man's kid and tattoo their initial on your neck?
There's something people don't know about Pete.
I scare the shit out of people.
I just need to protect my children.
Are you worried that you're too much to handle?
I was until I met her.
Is Pete acting the same with Kim as he did with his ex Ariana Grande?
Ari's initials on his thumb.
Extremely clingy, extremely obsessive.
Yeah, last night I switched to birth control with Tic Tac.
It's like people are permanently affected by this shit.
And Kanye seems to know it.
The tweet claimed that this was the reason Ariana ended things with Pete.
We found out Kanye actually had a part in Pete and Ariana's breakup.
Why would Kanye break them up?
It's not a coincidence that he dates these super high-profile women.
What's so dangerous about Pete Davidson?
This is the real life story behind the tabloids.
So you've scared a lot of women away?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think all of them.
Kaya, she said it got very overwhelming for her.
Yeah.
She said when he's very intense to his girlfriend.
But it was way more than intense. We found a quote from another of Pete's exes, Kanye David, saying, "Self-harm and suicide threats, incidents that would go from 0 to 100, I was too mentally exhausted to do anything besides emotionally recover."
But was it the same with Ariana?
Their breakup, I think, left a lot of people also wondering how it burnt out so quickly, and now that he's dating Kim, is the same thing going to happen with her? To answer that, we actually have to start with how Pete grew up.
I was raised by just like a mom and a sister.
You're very loving.
Yeah, I love love. That's how I grew up. That's all I've ever wanted.
So when Pete and Ariana started dating, he was all in immediately.
But a lot of people were surprised.
No one could believe it. I get it. She's the #1 pop star in the world, and I'm that guy from SNL.
She's perfect looking, talented, successful.
Yeah.
You don't get girls like that.
Nope.
But she describes seeing you.
First time you meet Pete, SNL?
I was just like listening to him pitch me ideas and stuff, and I was like...
She said, I'm going to marry that man.
They got together just days after Pete broke up with his girlfriend, Kanye David, and weeks after Ariana broke up with rapper Mac Miller.
Just weeks?
Yeah. After a month of dating, they shocked everyone when
Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson are reportedly engaged. Ari and Pete just took the term whirlwind romance to a whole new level.
That's really fast.
No one could believe it when it happened, but they were really happy together, and Pete's life transformed overnight.
But it seemed like Pete didn't know what he was signing up for. The media attention literally put his life in danger.
Yeah, I got a death threat.
Because
someone wanted to shoot me in the face.
Like a legitimate death
Because
threat.
she's so hot.
Because she's so hot? What does that mean?
It seems like people didn't think he was good enough for her.
But what people didn't realize was how much they really understood each other. They both lived through devastating traumas.
Breaking news out of Manchester, England tonight. A deadly blast outside of an Ariana Grande concert, killing at least 22, injuring at least 59.
And Pete knew how Ariana felt because he also lost someone in a tragedy. His dad was a firefighter who lost his life during 9/11.
It was really so hard for him to recover.
That has been kind of haunting, following me like a shadow for quite some time.
We did some digging, and it seemed like Pete would use his relationships to distract from his dad's death.
It's just like an escape from like life, like when you have like a partner. It's fun.
But with all the media attention, Pete's relationship with Ariana wasn't a distraction for long.
You think the entertainment industry heightened the intensity of your mental illness?
Oh yeah, it's made it much worse.
It's like the world is caving in.
So extreme, dude. I have in between bipolar and borderline and like PTSD and shit from my childhood.
What is borderline?
Borderline personality disorder. People with BPD have trouble regulating their emotions, and they can also be quite impulsive.
Like proposing to your girlfriend in just 1 month?
It kind of seems that way, but just 3 months after they got engaged, the unimaginable happened.
Rapper Mac Miller, age 26, died of an apparent overdose.
And Pete tried to be there for Ariana through this.
Mental health is so important. People don't pay enough mind to it. So like, what's happening inside?
I was like, listen, I was like, I get it, do whatever you gotta do. But I'll be here until like you don't want me to be here.
And soon after that,
Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson call it quits.
Pete is left heartbroken and alone with no distraction from his pain now that Ariana is gone. But then something went down on Twitter that I think a lot of people have forgotten about. But it's really relevant to what's happening right now with Pete and Kanye. Kanye accused Ariana of using his mental health struggle to promote her song. But then Pete actually got involved and took Kanye's side against Ariana, saying, quote, "Bravo Kanye for standing up for yourself and speaking out against mental health. No one should ever point fingers at you for your bravery. I'm seriously disgusted."
It's surprising to see them on the same side in contrast to how they are now, just fighting with each other over Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, exactly.
And after this, they actually became friends.
I want to show a picture because so you're out to dinner with Kanye.
By the way, I just want to say, like, Kim and Kanye, the cutest couple ever. Very, very sweet people, and like, I had a really good time with them.
Pete empathized with Kanye's mental health struggle and offered him advice.
Like, Kanye, I know you're like, yo, this is the real me. I'm off the meds. Take them. There's no shame in the medicine game. I'm on them. It's great.
But as much as Pete sounded like he was doing fine, suddenly he posted something on Instagram that terrified everyone.
Davidson writing, "I really don't want to be on this earth anymore." And the NYPD confirmed that officers performed a welfare check on Davidson and that he was, quote, fine.
That sounds like he wanted to kill himself.
I know, that's what a lot of people thought. But like the NYPD said, he wasn't, but clearly he wasn't in a good mental state. Because after this, he distracted himself again in relationship after relationship.
He dated Kate Beckinsale for 4 months, then he dated Margaret Qualley for 2 months, and then he dated model Kaya Gerber for 6 months. And so he continues like this, and we don't really hear anything from Pete and Ariana for a while.
When suddenly Ariana tells Vogue magazine that her relationship with Pete was, quote, an amazing distraction.
And he fired back during one of his stand-up specials.
Where did she say this stuff? To her friends? In the confidence of her own home? No, she said it on the cover of Vogue magazine.
I can't imagine what it must have felt like to hear the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with say that your relationship was just a distraction.
Well, wasn't Pete using Ariana as a distraction as well?
It seems like they were both using their relationships to distract from their pain.
Then a year later, suddenly Pete made a shocking announcement.
The last episode of SNL, you said it. You said on that episode, I'm going to rehab now.
Yeah, I subliminally kind of said it because I figured it would get out because so I just tried to be like, I got ahead of you, page 6.
He joked about it on SNL, but we found out the real reason he went to rehab, and it was so much bigger than that.
I have to get my meds readjusted every once in a while. I think it's like a really strong, powerful thing.
Well, I think that's the misconception, right? Some people think when you check into rehab, it's always for drugs.
It's not always for drugs. I mean, do I do drugs? Absolutely, but I'm not like falling over myself. Some people are sad. And the beautiful thing about rehab is like it gets you sober so they can figure out what the problem is.
It's here where it seems like Pete starts to learn that he has to face the pain of losing his dad rather than hide from it.
I'm not dating for a while. I mean, unless I meet the love of my life, I'm gonna try and stay away from that. But I'm definitely working on trying to love myself more. I feel like I'm in a good place right now.
Clearly, Pete understood what Kanye was going through and is in a different place now, which means Kanye can get there too.
He wanted to take control of his life, and he chose to get help to get better.
You don't have to hide behind relationships in order to escape your pain. You can face that pain and you can move on as well.
It always gets better. It'll get worse again too, but it always gets a lot better.